Mike, go ahead.
Hey, Caroline. Down the stretch, you guys got a little careless. What did you kind of see happen with the turnovers kind of in the final 4:30 there?
I don't think it was anything different than the rest of the game. Oregon did a really good job of being physical from this jump, and I think that they made everything difficult for us. So we just had a little bit of lapses when we were trying to run different stuff, and I think that ultimately Oregon was just really locked in and capitalized on it.
Mike, you got anything else for Caroline?
Sure. I mean, what did you think about the kind of the fight? I mean, do you guys feel like you needed to kind of rally a bit more together? What do you kind of think of kind of how that unfolded? Obviously, you guys had led, I think, for 33, plus minutes. How do you feel like things kind of got away from you there?
Honestly, I want to honestly take credit for some of it. I think that I tried to do a little bit too much one-on-one where I could have got my teammates more involved. I think that was sort of the theme of the night. I think that we definitely could have worked together more, but obviously we're just going to go back to the drawing board. I know Coach Moore will have a great game plan for the next game.
Seth, go ahead.
Yeah, Caroline, this is now 3 straight losses for you guys. Obviously, you had your struggles at the beginning of the season, and you kind of bounced back, and now you're kind of struggling a little bit again. Just where do you go from here? Like, how do you move forward after falling back to this point again?
Well, I think after losses, the only way is up. I think that you just really have to lock in on correcting mistakes, and I think that with the games that we've been losing, just critical errors down the stretch. It's definitely things that we can clean up. And I think that not saying that there's any positives in a loss, but that could be some of the positives that we can carry over to the next game. And obviously you want to work that much harder after a loss too. So.
Any other questions for Caroline?
Yeah, I'll do one more. Caroline, you guys have, when the team has struggled overall shooting the ball, the turnovers have been a little higher. Do you feel like that you guys, I don't know, when you guys do have those kind of struggles shooting, you kind of had a tendency to let things get away from you guys a little more?
I guess I would say so. I think that obviously when you're not knocking down shots, it allows the defense to kind of be more handsy and kind of gamble a little bit more because you're not shooting it as well. So I think that contributes to just like them being in the passing lanes more, just kind of sitting in the paint and not allowing us to get easy chippies around the basket, just stuff like that.
All right. Thanks, Carol.
Thank you.
Well, we're disappointed. Too many turnovers, especially in the fourth. I think there were 7 turnovers. They had scored 9 points off of those turnovers in the fourth. Had a lead, lost the lead. You're not going to turn the ball. You're not going to win games when you can't value the ball. We did not do that tonight, and we took some very uncharacteristic, but just shots that we had no business taking. Give Oregon credit; they were extremely physical. They took a lot of our first actions away from us, but still had an opportunity, had a lead, and lost it. So disappointed. I got to take responsibility. We didn't look like a very well coached team tonight.
Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, Terry, what would you kind of attribute, like, you mentioned the turnovers, but some of them were just careless. I know Caroline said they were physical and did some things to disrupt you, but travel, throwing the ball away, down the stretch like that in a game that's close. Not the first time that's happened this season either. What do you kind of see when those moments happen?
It's disappointing. I mean, it really is, Mike. They knew coming into the game how important, this is a team that scores over, at least 20 points off of, other teams' turnovers. And so just not valuing the ball. I mean, watching Chloe and Shay, get it taken from them when they're just trying to make an exchange, because I wanted, Chloe at the point or Shay at the point, and some of our actions that we were running. So very careless. And Strip was right. They were careless, or they were physical with us. we had to, at every timeout, just remind them of, they're coming for the ball. You got to squeeze it. You got to be tight. You got to be strong with it. Be strong with your passes, meet your passes, come off all your handoffs hard. We knew they were going to blow those up. So, we weren't surprised by anything they did. We didn't handle ourselves well enough. And, again, I got to take responsibility for that.
Do you feel like this team, when it doesn't shoot well, is more prone to that? Because I mean, some of your higher turnover games have been when you guys have been shooting under 40% this season. Or have you seen that kind of come up, or no?
Maybe here and there, but again, I'm not a big believer in that. Like, we were, came out and, again, got a lead. I mean, we were up 10, I think, at one point, and you try to build on it. And I think they came back, bang, bang, and scored. And again, I'd have to go back. I don't know if it was bad shot selection and or turnovers, but, that just can't, it was not a very good night for us. We were sloppy. We were careless, disappointing, very, very disappointing. How we didn't handle ourselves well enough in that fourth.
7.
Yeah, Terry, just how disappointing is this performance and, really response from your team when you were already on a 2-game losing streak coming into tonight?
I mean, every game is important. These guys know it. They were obviously disappointed, certainly, after Illinois and then, after USC, but, we felt like we were going to come out here and try to get back on track, Seth. And, like I said, I thought we did some good things early on, especially defensively. I mean, we really did a nice job of trying to take them out of a lot of their stuff. And like I said, got a lead and then just couldn't hang on to it because of our carelessness. And so, extremely disappointed in our team, in our staff, in myself. We're all responsible. So we all have to look at ourselves and ask ourselves, what can all of us, each of us do better?
Yeah, with Yarden, it's been, a tough stretch for her, shooting wise. How concerned are you with what you've seen from her the last, obviously she finished, got 10 rebounds tonight, but how concerned are you big picture with what you've seen from her the last several games?
It's certainly concerning, she's, we rely on her and she's not been, has not shot the ball very well. Last time she shot it well was against Iowa. So we haven't seen that Yarden since then. And so, it's concerning because we do, need her to generate some points for us. And right now she's having a hard time doing that.
Anything else? Yeah, go ahead, Seth.
Yeah, I'll take one more. Yeah. I mean, obviously you guys are staying out there, with another game at Washington on Monday. Just how do you regroup from, obviously a disappointing game like this, not coming home, not having maybe that normal, game to game stretch? Just how do you kind of go about regrouping and trying to get back to, pick yourselves back up from this?
Well, I think the next 48 hours are going to be interesting in terms of, not just our film sessions, but also our practices and, the conversations that we're going to have because, Washington is a very, very good team and, just lost at home to Iowa. And so they're going to try to be getting back on, wanting to get back on track as well. So, we're going to have to dig deep, in our soul and in our hearts and our soul and see, what we're made of, because this is, has been a tough stretch for us. And so, I think moving forward, we'll find out, what our group's made of.
All right, thanks.